ahead and get started. After your warm-up, you're going to be doing some push-ups first. And just remember, when you're doing push-ups as part of the workout, I want you to fight for depth. So you have your knees down or up, either way. Keep your head neutral. A lot of people have a tendency to drop the head when they do a push-up, so keep it neutral, in line with your spine. Go down, try and get your chest all the way to the ground. You're fighting for depth, but you don't want to get your tummy on the ground, just your chest. Push it to the ground and then push back up. And really pull in with those lower abs as you're pushing back up. Then you're doing jumping jacks, and these are just regular jumping jacks. You can also do low impact jumping jacks. Squats, always a reminder on squats, keep your toes pointed forward. You're going to sit back, put all the weight in your heels. Your knees should be in line with that second toe, not going in or out, but straight in line with that second toe. And then from the side, you're sitting back, fighting for depth to get down to that 90 degrees, making sure that your knees are not hyperextending those feet. So keep all the weight in your heels. Mountain climbers in a plank position. And you're just going to be switching your legs back and forth. Now when you do these, you want to fight to keep your hips down. They're going to have to go up a little bit, obviously, to switch, but fight to keep them down instead of this. Okay? So you're really fighting to keep them down. To modify these, there's a couple different things you can do. One is just don't go in and out quite as far, but keep those hips down. The other is to step in and out. Keeping in that nice plank position with your shoulders over your wrists. Then we're doing reverse lunges. So you're going to step backwards into a lunge. When you dip down, you're going to drop your hips straight down into that lunge, and you're going to come back up. Okay? And this is per side, so stay on one side. What you're watching for here, make sure that knee is in line with the second toe, and that your posture is nice and straight, stand up tall, and you're shooting for 90 degrees in both legs, but the deeper you go, obviously the more intense it's going to be. And then play around with the position of that back foot. 80% of your weight should be in your front leg, so the back foot is just for balance. If it starts bothering your knee in the back leg, play around with the position of that foot. Move it a little bit closer. Try that, maybe don't go as deep. Also, if you would like to make these a little bit more intense, since you're just doing them on one side, you have a couple options. You can go back and come to a balance. Just bring your leg up and keep going back. You can also go back and come to a front kick. If you come to a front kick, I want the kick slow and controlled, and you're going to actually be leaning back, squatting into that base leg just a little bit, not this. Okay? Burpees. Squat down, jump out to plank, jump back in, stand up. You can modify these. Squat down, step out, step back in, stand up. Want to make sure you hit a nice plank position at the bottom of that burpee. Single leg bent over row. You're going to use some weights. And you're going to lean forward. Now, I want your back and your leg to make a straight line. So however far you're leaning forward, your leg needs to follow. Okay? You're shooting for eventually getting horizontal like this, but you can start wherever is comfortable, wherever you can balance, and you're just going to row. In the row, you want to make sure your shoulder blades are pulled together even when your arms are down in front of you, and then you're really squeezing them together. And this is a back exercise that should be working those muscles in between your shoulder blades. Then single leg bent over reverse fly. Same position, other leg. A reverse fly is bring your arms up to the side. Watch when you do that you're not raising your shoulders into your ears, and also squeeze, squeeze, squeeze with those shoulder blades. Then quick feet, if you have a step, you can get your toes up on the step like this, and switch, or you can do this. Just move your feet as quickly as you can, really pulling in that core while you're doing it. Focus on squeezing that core as you're moving your legs, your feet. Okay, then you're just doing a plank. So remember the plank modifications. Start on your elbows and your toes. You can drop your knees, but keep your hips low. When your hips go up, you're resting, which is fine. I mean, if you need to rest, rest. But your core is engaged as long as your hips are dropped. So you can't have your knees down the whole time. Eventually, you can move up to your hands, and then your toes. Okay. Side plank, same thing. Start on your elbow. Raise those hips off the ground, hips, knees, and ankles stacked. You have your hand here, hip up here. Then you can start, as you get stronger with those, raise up off onto that arm here, here, or here. And then tabletop, you're just going to hold it. Get those hips up in the air, really squeeze your glutes. That's your booty. And the muscles in the back of your legs, your hamstrings, and pull in your stomach to make a nice flat tabletop. As you're sitting there, you'll start to sag a little bit. Really fight to keep that table nice and flat.